Good morning, good afternoon, wherever you may be in the United States or around the world. Welcome to our webinar today. We have literally hundreds of people joining us from around the world. So we're just going to give it another minute or two. If you are an advisor with Powur, now's a good time to reach out to your guests and just to be assured that they're on the webinar. So again, we have people joining every few seconds right now. We're watching the board, and we'll just give it couple minutes till it calms down, get everybody on, and then we'll go from there. Thank you. Again, welcome to the webinar. We've got a few minutes to go. We appreciate everybody being on. We appreciate you being timely. We have people dialing in. Literally hundreds of people from around the world have registered for this webinar. So everybody's cell phones and TV clocks and microwaves are a little bit, give it a moment or two, as we still have people coming on every few seconds right now. We're watching the board. So again, we welcome all of our leaders. Now's a good chance to take the last 30 seconds or minute to please find your guests and make sure they're joining us. So again, as you're coming on, welcome to the webinar. We're going to give it another moment or two or three. Again, this webinar will be brief. We will not go past the bottom of the hour. And we have people joining us from around the world. We have literally hundreds of people registered today. So we're just going to give it another moment or two for people to come on. So again, we appreciate your time. We value it. This will be brief. So we'll give it just another moment. Again, we welcome all of you that have joined the webinar today. We still have people joining us rather rapidly. So we're going to just give it another moment and give everybody a chance to join us. Welcome to all of you just joining us right now. We appreciate you joining us for our webinar. We'll give it another 60 seconds. Again, we completely respect your time. We just want to give everybody a chance to register, so don't miss the beginning. And we'll give it 30 seconds more. Again, good time if you're on the line now and you've got guests that you want joining us. Now's a good time to reach out to them if you haven't yet. Okay, let's begin. All right, welcome everyone. Vanessa, let's begin the recording. And we are good to go. So I want to welcome everyone to our webinar today. My name is Bobby Smith. I am a Vice President for Powur, and we are excited to have you here for the next 20 minutes or so. I hope you're having a beautiful Saturday. And, I want to take a little change of course here today. We've had hundreds of people sign up for this webinar from around the world this morning. And, I've been presenting the Powur opportunity, if you will, around the United States and around the world for, well over a year and a half now, I think it's been. And, I want to take a little different stance here today with all of you. I really want to meet you where you are this morning, because what I'm going to share with you about Powur, there is no debate about. I'm just going to share with you the facts, what our company's done. We had the fastest crowd fund of its kind in the history of the world to well over $1 million. In just a few weeks. We signed a contract with the largest solar provider in the world. We have people making multiple six-figure incomes right now. So nothing I'm going to share with you is really debatable. What this webinar this morning is really for is for you. However you are coming to this webinar, if you responded to an online advertisement, our CEO is one of the top online marketers in the world. He's earned tens of millions of dollars when he was in his 20s. So if you came online here to join us today, there's a reason. Something sparked your interest, an opportunity to be involved in something bigger than yourself, an opportunity to do something really great for the planet, for the world. There may be some really serious, hardcore business people here that are much more about money than anything else. There are people here that are just uninspired and tired of their job, and as they approach their 40s and 50s and 60s, want to do something more important or something they could be inspired by or to leave a legacy with. So, you know, everyone has their own reasons why they're on this today. And that's really what this is about. So I really am asking you to tune into those emotions and the reasons why you joined us today, because ultimately that will be your decision. It will not be anything that I really talk about today. The facts are the facts. Look, we know that energy is one of the biggest markets in the world. Every single person that you know in a modern civilization today on the planet uses it. But there's problems with the energy that we're using today, and I'm sure you'd all agree. It is expensive, and it's getting more expensive all the time. Gas and electric rates throughout the United States typically raise 4 to 6% every single year. We've seen price raises of 25% from Florida to California. That's how bad it's getting. And it's dirty. You know, folks, there's a conversation you could have, of course, about climate change, with fires raging out of control in California, with hurricanes never been seen before in Puerto Rico, with devastation to Florida and Houston, challenges in Mexico and throughout the world. There'd obviously be an argument about the veracity of the storms that we're getting and why they're heating up over the ocean, literally, and becoming more damaging than ever before. But there's still a lot of people that don't believe necessarily that climate change is anything but cyclical. That's not the point. The point is, for those of you who are parents, like myself, and have children and want grandchildren, the simple, undeniable fact is that we are polluting our oceans, our land, our water every single day. I come from the healthcare industry. There are over 5 million people that die every year in our modern society because of a lack of quality of air and water. And we can do something about that. There's no reason to continue using dirty energy. It just doesn't make any sense anymore. We're dependent upon the dirty utility companies and, in fact, quite often, the dirty politicians and some of the wealthiest families that are looking to line their own pockets. It doesn't have to be that way anymore. There is a new way to go. Our company, Powur, P-O-W-R, we raised, again, our CEO put up $1 million. We had a record-setting crowdfund raise. We signed a contract with the largest solar company in the world. We had a chance to get on the inside of the solar business. A few years ago, we started quietly building an army of socially conscious entrepreneurs that wanted to make a difference, to move solar to the forefront, to get the world to transition to renewable energy. And what we learned in doing that, working with the largest solar provider in the world, we gave them tens of thousands of leads and millions of dollars in business. But we learned that there was a better way. We built a better mousetrap. And if you'd ever listened to Richard Branson, one of the wealthiest people in the world, respected entrepreneur, he said that billion-dollar companies really never come out of the gate that way. They come out with a strategy, they take a step back, they regroup, and then they hit the market with a fury. And that's pretty much what our company, Powur, has done. When we signed a contract with the largest solar provider in the world, we realized there was a better way. And all we had to do was look to the recent past to figure out what that way would be. We watched a group of young people change the way the world communicates with Facebook. They've made the major news channels almost irrelevant. We share our own news, and we do it online. WeChat does it all over the world in countries where Facebook may or may not be allowed. And Facebook today, which completely disrupted the communications world, the news media, is now valued at over $350 billion, and their owner and the people that got involved early are some of the wealthiest people on the planet today. We watch the same thing happen with two companies called Uber and Airbnb, and that's where I want you to focus on. These are companies that attacked industries that had been established for a century: the taxi cab and transportation industry, the hotel and hospitality industry, and they came up with an idea. They came up with an idea that in both cases takes a consumer that wants a better experience than a taxi cab or a hotel room and introduces them via an online platform to an entrepreneur, right? You push a button. Where do you want to stay? Where do you want to travel? You get connected to an entrepreneur. That entrepreneur has to spend money. They've got to take care of their automobile, take care of their home, have housekeeping, get good reviews, change the tires, change the oil, fill up with gas, get the car washed, maintain insurance on their home or their car. They have got to get good reviews, and they can make whatever money they want to make. And we've seen this happen in other industries, Kickstarter for raising money. We've seen it with Etsy, with goods and services. Would you want to open a department store right now, or would you rather have stock in Amazon? But stay focused on Uber and Airbnb, because what our company Powur has done is we have built the first international solar and renewable energy platform, just like Airbnb and just like Uber. What happened was we decided to move away from the largest solar provider in the world and sign contracts with over 75 of the best solar providers, the best local providers, the best regional providers, and even, in fact, a few of the largest national solar providers. So that we have an online platform that you can run from your cell phone. You know, folks, this conversation today is about quality of life as much as it is about anything else. You already have a job, right? You already have a family. You might have more than one job. You have workout, prayer, everything else in your life going on right now. So we had to make this simple. We have to make this simple, just like Airbnb, just like Uber. You're not looking for another job, right? You're looking for an opportunity to be involved in something cool, life-changing, world-changing, that you can fit into your life that will enhance your life. So we had to come up with a simple solution where you could go to a friend, be at a neighbor's house, and say, hey, would you like a free proposal for no money down solar? All you have to do is punch in their zip code on our platform, and you will get introduced to the best solar providers in the market. It will give you a script to say, and it will give you the number to dial. So if you want to make a really great second income and have a blast and do something important, then all you need to do is download our proprietary app that's valued at over $1 million and start introducing your friends and your neighbors and your community to no money down solar. Let's talk about solar for a minute, because that's an important part of this conversation. Folks, I was fortunate in my career. I got in front of cell phones when most people thought they were a joke. Would any of you would like to have been in the beginning of cell phones when no one thought they would adopt? I was also fortunate to get in front of the internet when no one thought that the internet would adopt. What happened to the people who got in front of the internet? Billionaires, multimillionaires. Their lives changed. They're living the lives that they want to live today, doing whatever they want to do, being philanthropic, traveling the world, because they got involved in change when other people didn't necessarily believe it was going to happen. Folks, I spent 8 of the last 10 years building and running a national cancer foundation where over 50,000 people a year died because they wouldn't get an examination. I can share with you from experience that there's 100 million people in the United States alone who can get a free examination of the energy use in their home, a free proposal. And for someone not to do that means they simply don't understand economics. Everyone, 100 million people right now can get a free proposal for no money down solar. They can become energy independent. They can get off the grid. They can do the right thing for the planet. They can increase the value of their home up to 10% and pay nothing out of pocket. Let's make sure we're clear. The value proposition for solar today, there's no reason to wait for solar. The panel prices have come down extraordinarily. There's warranties on the panels, the inverters, 20 years, 25 years. There's performance guarantees. You can monitor it from your phone. This is the time to get solar. In fact, there's been recent approvals of price raises on tariffs on panels, which means that really in the next 3 months, October, November, and December, is the best time to get solar, because solar panels could go up in price. It won't affect us because we're a platform, but it could affect the consumer. So everyone should be getting free proposals for no money down solar. Let's make sure we understand the value proposition again. free proposal. Average savings 5 to 40%. I have an $80,000 system on my home. Free proposal, no money out of my pocket. I started saving 27% the first day, and even more because the panels insulate the home as well, even solidifies the roof. Homes in Puerto Rico and Florida with solar panels did better in the hurricanes because their ceilings, their roofs were actually fortified by their solar panels. 5 to 40% savings. The increase of value on the home of up to 10%. Locking in your electric costs. Folks, imagine if you could have locked in your prices for gasoline on your car 30 years ago, 20 years ago. Imagine if you could have locked in any prices 20 years ago. Imagine if you could have locked in your electric costs 20 years ago, 10 years ago, or today. Is there anyone on this webinar today that does not believe that electric rates are going to continue to go up and continue to pollute our planet? That's just the facts, because there are families with interest in dirty infrastructure. The Koch family, the Buffett family, that's just the way it is, and we all know that. So there's absolutely fundamentally no reason why anyone who understands economics, money, value of a home, again, the value of the home up to 10% increase and becoming energy independent and creating an asset on your rooftop. Everyone that can go solar should go solar, save tens of thousands of dollars, and do the right thing. It is that simple. Look how big the savings can be over 20 years. Folks, our platform is simple. You have a conversation with someone. You grab their electric bill while you're at their house or online and dial them right into the best solar providers in the market. When that solar provider meets with your customer, you're going to get a check. You can earn $30 just for having an appointment for solar, one of your friends, and that's when you get paid. The next step, of course, the customer signs a contract, and then they will have their installation. You can earn thousands of dollars just by submitting a friend onto our platform. We do commercial solar in many instances. We've got one of our representatives do a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 check just for submitting a friend who owned a business on the platform for solar. How cool is that? Folks, we are the only ones in the world doing this. We created this category. Think about Shark Tank. Do you ever watch that? The greatest economic incubation platform on the planet. When do they invest? They invest when someone has created a category. They invest when someone has revenue. They invest when someone has solved a problem. Think of what we're doing here, folks. We're driving revenue. We're solving a problem. We have created a category. This is what every investor, this is what every entrepreneur looks for, the chance to be great. Our software is valued at over $1 million alone. It's proprietary, and we spend up to $80,000 to $100,000 a month on IT development alone, making this the most kick-butt software on the planet. No one has it. If they want to try and catch us, good luck. But what we also have, remember, is contracts with over 75 of the best solar providers in the United States, Puerto Rico, Hawaii, Canada, and Australia. How will they get past that? They can't. No one has ever done this in the direct sales industry, an industry that pays out hundreds of millions of dollars in commissions daily. We're the first to do this. We're the first to market clean energy, and we're looking for the best entrepreneurs around the United States and around the world. In the U.S. alone, and we can't keep upgrading this map fast enough, again, to keep track, over 100 million homes qualify today, and the numbers just keep growing in Canada and Australia and around the world. It's an extraordinary time for our company. It's an extraordinary time for all of you. Think about what just happened in Puerto Rico, folks. We did over $3 million in contracts in the first 12 weeks that we were in Puerto Rico, and they were devastated by unthinkable tragedies. And whether those are man-made or not, we'll never know, but look what happened. The sun comes out the day after a hurricane. If, in fact, the homes in Puerto Rico had solar panels on their roofs and backup batteries in their garage, lives would be starting to return to normal the next day. It makes no sense to rebuild Puerto Rico any way but green. It makes no sense to build Houston any way but green. It makes no sense to build Florida any way but green. It makes no sense to build Northern California anywhere but green. And folks, we are so proud of the fact as a public benefit corporation that we are now selling temporary battery solutions with solar to the people of Puerto Rico so they get their air conditioning running, get their lights back on, get their refrigerators going, get their children bathed. And that is a big part of what Powur stands for. Folks, this is not a question. There's no question about if there's another big hurricane coming. It's when they're coming. When they're coming to Puerto Rico, when they're coming to the United States, when they're coming to the East Coast, when they're coming to the Midwest, as we saw in Houston, and when California or the West Coast will have its next tragedy. I'm sorry to say that. It's just the way it is. We have to do better. We know better now. We have to be prepared. Folks, it's no longer going to be a choice. The law says you can no longer build a home in Miami without solar panels. The law says you can no longer build a home in San Francisco or build a business over a certain size without solar panels. The world is changing. 200 countries around the world have committed to cleaner energy. Governors and mayors met recently in Miami committing to renewable energy. Companies around the world are committing to renewable energy. Companies that are polluting the world are being targeted for class action lawsuits. Do you remember how the cigarette industry finally was obliterated? It was obliterated by class action lawsuits, and they are being directed right now at the largest polluters in the United States and around the world. That's the environmental conversation. But there's a purely economic conversation to be had here, folks. The transition to solar energy and renewable energy is the greatest shift of wealth in the history of mankind. It has never happened before. It will never happen again. And that's what entrepreneurs look for. It's that simple. Solar panels on your roof are just the beginning. It's the backup battery that's the game changer in your garage that gets you off the grid. And in Florida, we're already seeing thousands and thousands of homes with solar-powered lighting in their homes, ceiling fans, water heaters, pool pumps. Folks, solar-powered air conditioners are coming to the market. Did you ever wonder why you have a metal box in the back of your house in 100-degree heat to cool your home? Imagine if these people would have had an air conditioner with a backup generator powered by solar panel. We're seeing solar-powered driveways and walkways and stairways, cars and boats. It's the way of the future. Is there anybody on this webinar that debates that the world is shifting to renewable energy? You can't, because you'd be wrong. And Powur is a force, is a platform for change. And it's also a platform for economics. Every dollar that we take in, we pay 70% out to the platform. We have people every single week now, it seems, getting a $2,000 bonus for their first 3 installations on top of the revenue that they receive for those installations for the install revenue. People are earning appointment revenue every single day, and we have leadership acquisition bonuses that can pay you up to $750 through unlimited levels of distribution when someone joins your company, your organization, and starts submitting leads to the grid. Now, folks, so what we've done here is we've built an Uber platform and tied it to a Keller Williams type revenue plan. How did Keller Williams become one of the largest, if not the largest, and most successful real estate firm in the world? If you want to make a living with Keller Williams or real estate firms, you can sell real estate. If you build a team, you can build wealth. And that's what we've offered here at Powur. You can join our company today for less than $500. Folks, that is a day, maybe a weekend at the beach. It's a couple dinners. That gets you unlimited access to our platform. It gets you websites to build your business. It gets you training and support of everything you need to know to build an international renewable energy business from the palm of your hand. Everything you need. If you're not a salesperson, we're not selling anything. Folks, think about why this works. I'd call it the perfect storm, but that would be kind of weird with what we're talking about, right? When do businesses work? When everyone wins, in my book, right? Here, think about this. The solar companies love us because instead of spending their dollars, why aren't solar companies profitable? Why are two of the biggest solar companies in the world either losing hundreds of millions of dollars or have filed for bankruptcy? Folks, this is the problem that we have solved. The large solar companies' cost of acquisition is too high in most cases for them to be profitable. Think about that. Building a business, getting permits, trucks, employees, advertising, SEO, billboards, telemarketers, kiosks in malls, all those things, and they're spending more than they're making. We've solved the problem by bringing the solar company a warm, motivated customer with an electric bill in their hand, dialed in from a friend or colleague. We have changed the game for the solar companies. The solar company wins. The consumer wins because we've already vetted the best solar companies in the world, and they're going to get the best deal from the best provider. And you, if you have an entrepreneurial spirit, can win because you get a chance to override all of this. Folks, there is major momentum in our company happening right now on the East Coast, Baltimore, Washington, Virginia, very soon New York and New Jersey. Florida has been exploding. Puerto Rico is getting back on its feet with power. California is having unbelievable growth spurts in our company. Texas. There are markets all over the United States where solar hasn't started. Folks, there's less than a 2% market adaptation in solar in the United States of America. In a country where 100 million people can get solar with no money down, less than 2% of the population has gotten solar because they didn't understand it. They didn't trust it. They were waiting for better technology. They were waiting for prices to come down. They were waiting for tax credits. Folks, you get a 30% federal tax credit, everyone. You get state tax credits of up to $6,000 in markets like New York. You get SRECs, which are credits that pay you back from using solar, and you can have a chance to have solar and be paid for the energy that you're sending back to the grid. It's called net metering. This is an extraordinary time in solar, but it is about first movers. You have a chance to do something special for the world. You have a chance to do something that no one's ever done before. So here's what I would say to you in closing. As I opened up this seminar today, this is really about meeting you where you are. There is no debate that we can do better as a society for better water, better air, better food supplies for our children and grandchildren. There's just no debate to be had. There is no debate that solar and renewable energy is creating almost more jobs than any industry on the planet, and it is the greatest shift of wealth in the history of mankind. There is no debate about the value for solar and that everyone that can get solar should go solar. And there's no debate about a platform is the way to do it. Uber, Airbnb, Amazon, Facebook, Powur. We will disrupt and decentralize the entire dirty energy grid. There are billions of dollars on the table. The question is, going back to you, why did you join this webinar today? Was it to get rid of one of your jobs? Was it to retire a spouse? Was it to get off the clock? Was it to do something that you could truly have a passion for? Was it to get traffic out of your life? Was it to get a boss out of your life that you couldn't stand? Was it to get working around uninspired coworkers? The day-to-day ordinary things that we all do. This country was built on great jobs, right? But there's a new day, and it's entrepreneurship. And that's what we're watching change the world. Young entrepreneurs, even people of my age, with a different approach to life. They want to do something special. They want to leave a legacy. They want to do something that their children will be proud of. They want to do something that their community will be proud of. One of our colleagues reminded me the other day, Andy Smith, I think he's on here today, of exactly why people join Powur. They join Powur because they want to make a difference. Many people join Powur because they want to make a great deal of money. And most people join it because they want to do it around their family and their lives and their prayer and the things that are most important to them. This is not adding some burden to your plate. This is adding pure joy to your daily activities. You can literally change the course of your life. There's no magic. There's no fast money. You're not quitting your job tomorrow. That's not what this is about. But if you ever wanted to do something where you could lay your head on the pillow at night and you couldn't wait to wake up in the morning, compare that to what most of America's doing, fighting through their week to get to hump day, fighting through their week to get to thank God it's Friday, fitting in their grocery shopping and their dry cleaning and everything else, their worship over the weekend, for the insanity of doing it all over again. Folks, there's a better way. There's a new world, and you can do it from the palm of your hand with people that you care about and people that you love. So I would say to all of you, with a sense of urgency, there are major events in power happening around the United States and around the world. If you want the chance to earn life-changing income and do something extraordinary, how often do those opportunities come around? I can tell you, almost never. Never doing the right thing, rarely is doing the right thing, and the chance to make millions of dollars connected. Whatever you're here for today, a few $100s to make your credit card bills go away, more time with your spouse, better quality of life with your children, the chance to raise your personal and professional game, the chance to be a part of something legendary and life-changing, whatever you're here for today, I urge you to hang up this phone, get on the phone with the person that brought you on this webinar today, get your questions and answered today. Every moment you waste is another moment you could position yourself for greatness, because here's the bottom line. Just like hundreds of people heard about us on the internet today, hundreds more will tomorrow. Your friends, your neighbors, your colleagues, your friends on Facebook, your connections at LinkedIn, your community, your church, everyone is going to hear about power. Whether they hear it from you because you joined today, or whether they hear it from someone else tonight because you waited, could literally change the course of your life. The key in life is taking action when action is warranted. And today, action is warranted. We thank all of you for joining this webinar today. Have an amazing, beautiful, wonderful day with your families. And please make a decision today to join Power. Thank you.